So I'm a lawyer, and I know that my sister is going through some really rough things. I'm going to be there for her, and I'm going to fight against her husband in court, and I'm going to make sure my sister wins. Because what that evil monster did to her, nobody, and I mean nobody, deserves it. Hey everyone, I'm Amy. I'm a lawyer working for a law firm, and I specialize in family law. I'm a valuable resource to my firm, but I'm only a valuable resource to my family when I can help them. Otherwise, I'm just the daughter who can be discarded. All my life, I've lived in the shadow of my older sister, Millie. Millie's always better than me at everything. She was an ideal daughter, a perfect student, and an all-around better human than I would ever be. At least in my parents' eyes. To me, she has always been a selfish little craphead who liked gloating how she got all the attention instead of me. I remember ever since I was a kid, she would take away what was mine by crying or manipulating our parents. And then smile. Ugh, that smile infuriated me, like she won something. I never liked her, not even as a kid. I don't even get me started about how when we were teenagers, she was horrible to me. Always acting like she was in some way superior to me, and she was always embarrassed of me and didn't even like to be in the same room as me, without causing me trouble. She often used to make up fake things for my mother to ground me over, and my parents often compared me to her. It just taught me to stay away from her, and I did that even into adulthood. Millie's not a girl's girl, and honestly, she's embarrassed me with her behavior that she shielded from our family to seem like a good person. Once I was out of my house, I did not return from college even during the holidays. My parents did not care much either. I remember how we only talked just before the holidays when my mother asked me if I would come over this time, and I would give her an excuse of some sort. And then she would go on and on about whoever my sister was bringing over, and my father and I did grow closer through after college. He was a lawyer as well, so I often came to take his advice. This made me come back into my family again, as I was often coming over to discuss things with him. He is retired now, but his suggestions have always been valuable to me, and I still, however, tried to avoid my sister as much as I could. It actually came as a surprise to me when she got engaged, as I've been unaware that she was even dating someone. Travis seemed like a really nice guy when she introduced me to him. Apparently, my parents had met Travis before. I was the only one who had not been introduced to him yet. We had dinner, and I thought that Travis seemed like a very charming, very polite person. I was very happy for her when they got married, and I brought my now fiancé to the wedding as a +1, and it was a fun wedding. They seemed genuinely happy up there, giving each other their vows and holding hands. You know what? I'd actually been a bit jealous because once again, everything had turned out just right for her like it always did. However, by then I had stopped harboring negative feelings towards Millie. I'd grown up and distanced myself from her and had helped me deal with the jealousy a lot over the years. After the wedding, we were back to avoiding each other until very recently. Millie and I never made an effort to contact each other, and we only met during holidays, which we sometimes missed to attend them at our partner's house. Millie came to me one weekend asking me for help. She and her husband have been having difficulties lately, and it was common knowledge in my parents' house. She disclosed that Travis, her husband, had been abusive towards her emotionally, and recently it turned physical. So she had run away from him, and now she wants to file a case against him for domestic abuse and get a divorce. I'd felt so bad for her at the time, and her situation had actually scared me, because I was engaged and planning on getting married myself. I didn't even let her ask. I gave up my services to her for free. I didn't wish for a victim of domestic abuse to not get her justice. So, I worked hard for the case, staying up all night preparing for the case, and I think in my heart of hearts I was hoping that this would bring the both of us closer. Nothing miraculous, I had just hoped that this would lead to us, to start talking at the very least without having to do so because we were forced to. So it was very hard when we lost the case. We didn't have much evidence to prove that Travis has ever been physically abusive towards Millie all through their marriage. I knew that it would become a huge setback in our already fragile sibling relationship, but I was also sad that a domestic abuse victim did not get the justice that she deserved. The divorce was finalized though, and they officially got separated. Millie had been very annoyed at the turn of events, completely giving me a cold shoulder after the hearing. I had initially thought that she just needed space, so I gave it to her. But it soon became clear that she was salty, and maybe even thought I botched her case on purpose. We were having dinner yesterday, only a week after the hearing, and with our parents, that's when she made it clear that she blamed our loss on me. Well, okay. We had been having a peaceful dinner, discussing everything, but the elephant in the room, well, my mom was scared that anything would set Millie off, and my dad was not happy that we had lost the case either. So, Millie brought the case up on her own, though. She said that I had not given this case my best, and I've been offended by the because, well, that was very untrue. She claimed that if I were such a great lawyer, how have I not taken Travis to prison, even though she had pictures of her injuries from the day that he hit her? I'd been offended by her accusations and told her that there wasn't enough evidence that it was Travis who had hit her. She thought that I was insinuating that she was lying, which I was not. It was just how the court thought of the case, and I had nothing to do with it. She slammed her hands down on the table and stood up, asking me if I was saying that Travis was in fact not guilty. I took a deep breath, trying to calm down my anger at the accusation, and I told her that I never said that. But she wasn't having it, and neither was my mother, who asked me to apologize immediately, and I did, even though I was not at fault. I just wanted to maintain the peace, so I did. Millie then told me the reason she thought we did not win was, well, she claimed that in my heart I did not believe her, and that's why I did not give the case my best. And now an abuser was out on the loose, doing anything and whatever he wanted to whoever he wanted, and it's all because of me. She accused me of being jealous of her, and now I was taking my jealousy out in this manner. I screamed that I've given it my best. I've done all that for free, and she could not muster up gratitude for me, and the least she could do was not accuse me of things. Well, that really angered my mother, and she told me to leave. I was mad enough to do so and slammed the door behind me on my way out. I was just mad how my dad did not take my side like he used to when I was a kid in a similar situation. My dad knew how these things went, yet he did not even try to intervene for me. I hate this family. I hate that I thought that it would bring us closer. How is any of this my fault? I gave up my sleep to bring my sister to justice, and in return, I didn't even ask her for a single penny. Yet I'm the villain in her story, and I did it to her. I'm so done with her and this family. I suggest all of you never help your family for free, especially if they've never treated you well, because it never ends good. However hard you try to change the possible outcome, it doesn't matter. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. Wow, that was a pretty explosive main post. And guys, we have multiple updates to check out. If you're new to the channel and you haven't had a chance to hit that subscribe button, you're going to want to do that. You're not going to want to miss out on some of these juicy stories. And if you just can't get enough, check the description down below or the pinned comment and see the other 2 channels that I have with even more daily videos. That's right, 3 channels, action-packed videos. Here's your first update, update number 1. Hello everyone, my name's Amy. Today marks a week since the day I got into a fight with my sister Millie at our parents' house over dinner. And Millie has not let go of her accusations that I let her lose her domestic abuse case out of jealousy, even on the day of my wedding. Yesterday, all through my wedding, Millie just could not rest her accusations. Everything went smoothly in the beginning with the ceremony. Sure, my parents had not talked to me for a week, but I didn't really care because I was also mad at them for their behavior. I honestly had not cared if they showed up at my wedding or not. I was hoping that they would come so I wouldn't have to make an excuse for them. They thankfully did show up along with my sister. After the ceremony was done, all through the reception, Millie would not stop taunting me. It began with how I was getting married without care after I lost her domestic abuse case. If I was the only one in the hearing range, maybe I would not have gotten this mad, but there were many people around who heard her comments. After that, all through the reception dinner, I could clearly see her complaining about me to her tables, as they kept pointing towards me and giving me a dirty look. I started to regret putting her up with my cousin, who were some of the noisiest people I knew. It became unbearable when my sister told me how she could not wait for my own marriage to go downhill. Maybe then I would understand what she was going through. By then, I had enough. I told her that if she was so sure that I was the problem, maybe she should take Travis to court again and see if they could win her case. Because clearly it was my jealousy that made her lose, right? My sister simply told me to stop being so bitter. I was ruining my own wedding day. I was beyond mad at her bullcrap and told her that she was ruining my wedding day. She just shrugged, but before she could leave, I told her that I would get back at her for ruining this day. I claimed she might have ruined my wedding day, and I promised to ruin her reputation forever. Of course, I had no plans to ruin her reputation. It was a bluff. But it did make me feel a bit better. After threatening her, she was being ridiculous, complaining to everybody like a teenage girl. Then some of the guests approached me as they left, telling me how they were disappointed in me for letting my sister down. I was so done that I didn't even respond to them. Apparently, Millie had told anyone who would listen to them about her life problems that only originated from my jealousy. I can't believe that she ruined my special day with her bullcrap. What made it even worse was my parents' cold behavior towards me, even at my wedding. I couldn't believe how they were reacting to all this, and I've decided to maintain my distance from them from now on. Update number 2. Hey guys, this is Amy again with an update. You would not believe what I heard yesterday from a mutual friend of Travis and me. I've known Tom since law school. He was my senior. He even helped me out a bit when I needed it. Tom and I usually met a few times every year, just to catch up. He couldn't come to my wedding a few days ago because of a family emergency, but he wanted to apologize face to face and give me the wedding present that he had gotten for me, so of course I jumped on the opportunity to get drinks with an old friend. Tom knew Travis because Tom worked for the company Travis worked for. They had grown close, and he was closer to Travis than he was with me, but that had not even been an issue between us until just recently when Millie claimed that Travis had beaten her. Although I didn't doubt that the situation would be an issue between us, we caught up at each other, and it left my lips that Millie kind of ruined my wedding day without my meaning to. When Tom pressed me on it, I spilled the beans. I told him how Travis and Millie's marriage had ended and how I represented Millie in court against Travis. Tom listened to me without even interrupting once. When I was done, he looked at me with such pity. I had initially thought that he was pitying me for the way my family treated me, but I was wrong. When he told me that Travis never beat Millie, I immediately thought he was just covering up for a friend, and I really regretted ever bringing this up. I mean, how could I be friends with a guy who would cover up for an abuser? But he explained the situation crystal clear to me, and soon I was swallowing my words. Tom told me that Travis was filing a case against Millie because of how she had physically assaulted him in his own home. Well, I was shocked, as he went on to explain that Millie had approached Travis drunk with a bat a few weeks ago. She beat Travis with it and also trashed his house. Travis claims that Millie was angry that she lost, and Tom disclosed that Travis had enough proof of this happening in the form of a security camera footage. I knew about the cameras that he had presented the footage of Millie from, leaving his house the day she claimed that he hit her. In the footage, she looked unharmed, and Millie had claimed that we could only see her back. So, Tom promised that he knew Travis, and he was not somebody who would ever beat his wife, let alone anybody. After hearing about how Millie had actually been the one to physically assault Travis, I was inclined to believe him over her. I've been thinking about this encounter since last night and can't let it go. I'm mad because I think Millie's lying. And if she was lying, she tried getting a good man in trouble, and When it didn't happen, she pretended to be the victim and villainized me in front of the family. I'm so angry enough to wish to get back at her. And I think I've been handed a perfect opportunity to do so. Update number 3. Hey guys, this is Amy. The unthinkable happened 2 days ago. Millie came begging for help again even after she treated me so badly. After I reached out to help her the last time and it did not pan out the way she wanted it to. So, Millie revealed that Travis was suing her for alleged physical assault against him and for allegedly trashing his house. I was done with her lies and crap and straight away told her that I did not know how I could help her in this situation. She told me that I needed to represent her again in court. I laughed a humorless laugh and asked that after I was done representing her for free and without getting a gratitude in return, would I be again accused of jealousy after we lost this case? She snorted and told me to get over it and start preparing for this new case. So I told her that I would not be taking her case for free and told her my hourly pay. She was horrified, and I don't really know at what. Maybe she was shocked at how much lawyers actually cost. Or maybe she was shocked that I was asking for money at all. She sputtered that she didn't pay the last time, and I reminded her that I did her a favor by helping her, and in return she had done nothing but ruin my image and name and everything in front of our family and ruin my wedding day. She asked me if I was just being salty now, that I was not going to help her because I didn't like being hit with the truth to my face. I told her that no, I didn't like being used without getting anything in return. I told her that she could pay me and I would represent her, but I did not tell her that I knew the truth. I knew that she really did assault Travis because I had an ace up my sleeve that I wanted to reveal when the time was right. She left my house in anger, just like I had thought that she would. Her coming to me after treating me like crap was so shocking, but her pride was not a shock at all. How dare I ask her to pay for my services, right? Oh, boo-hoo. We're blood relatives after all, I didn't really care. And I did not care when the next day she spread the rumors that I was just a selfish, jealous woman who just won't help her family for free. I didn't care that my parents again chose to believe her over me. I was kind of getting used to their behavior and it had stopped haunting me. She even left me a voice message telling me how her parents would take me back if I just took her case for free. You know what? I almost laughed because she really thought that I lived for my parents' approval after all this. I should have stopped wishing for their approval a long time ago, but it took me some time, and at least I don't care for their approval anymore. Update number 4. Hey everybody, it's Amy, and today I played my ace up my sleeve. After my sister spread a bunch of rumors about me, Millie probably thought that the situation between us was over. Little did she know that this was just the beginning. When Millie entered the courtroom with her expensive lawyer, she was absolutely blindsided when she found me sitting with Travis as his lawyer. She was flabbergasted that she stumbled upon her own feet when she saw me sitting beside my client, who, by the way, wasn't too proud to pay me my fees. Well, when she had walked to us, she lunged at me. I was so shocked, but there was Travis between us who stopped her from hurting me as she yelled at me for betraying her trust. Her lawyer pulled her back with an angry, hushed whisper, but Millie did not care as she screamed at me for playing both sides. I just sat there watching Millie make a spectacle of herself. I just made a note on some papers about how I can use her display of anger in the form of violent outbursts to prove that she had physically assaulted Travis like she had just tried to assault me in front of the judge and the jury. She was almost making it too easy. My parents were there as well. They had the front row seat to my sister's downfall and my victory, but I did not glance at them even once all throughout the court proceedings. I'm pretty sure that we have this case in the bag. I mean, we have enough evidence to get Millie behind bars. We had video proof of Millie coming over to Travis's house with a baseball bat and then leaving. Travis, he also took pictures of all the injuries and the damage Millie had done to his house immediately after the incident. At the end of the session, we were given another date. On our way out, Millie interjected us. But Travis put himself between her and me, probably to shield me in case she again tried to physically assault me. Millie sneered at me for being greedy for money. Well, you know what? I was ready to give her a piece of my mind and told her that I was doing what was right. I claimed that I should never have helped her the first time because she had falsely accused Travis. And when it did not work out, she had wished that she pinned it on me to appear innocent in front of everyone. She told me that our parents were very disappointed in me. I think she still thought I cared. She's wrong. I told her that I could never please my parents. I've given up. I no longer cared if I made them proud or what. They could continue to do what they do, if it makes them feel better, and leave her standing there. Honestly, watching Millie's face drain of color and watching me sitting beside Travis was worth it. She did me and Travis both dirty, and now it's time to reap what you sow. I'll make sure she goes to prison for everything she did to an innocent man. Final update. Hey guys, Amy here. I think this will be my last update. I closed Travis' case against my sister after fighting for him for 4 months. A week ago, guess what? We won, and we couldn't be happier. It had taken time, but the fruit of patience is sweet, as they say. The jury decided in Travis's favor, and my sister's going to jail, or should I say prison, for 2 years. And is supposed to pay Travis a hefty fine for damage that she did to him and his home. But Millie's face, after the hearing was over, was the real fruit of our labor. She was furious, and her fury gave me so much happiness that I was smirking all throughout it. It's been a week since Millie was convicted of assault, and my family finally sees her for the snake that she is. All the extended family, who had told me that I was jealous for intentionally losing Millie's previous case, called to tell me how they never believed her anyways. I just rolled my eyes at them, and got them off my back as soon as possible. You know why? Because they didn't matter to me. At least they tried, I guess, because my parents just pretended like nothing changed. My mom just called me and asked if I was coming over to dinner on Thanksgiving with my husband. I was so mad at her pretending that everything was okay that I just dropped the phone without even saying a word to her. My dad even came over yesterday and starts discussing a case with me, like we hadn't just stopped talking for the past few months. I'd been angry enough to tell him to leave me alone. I told him that just because their preferred daughter was in prison, they could not just go back and, get their discarded daughter like they had not hurt her. He tried to talk to me, but I told him that I didn't care for them or their approval. They meant nothing to me like I meant nothing to them, especially in comparison to their golden egg. You know what? I felt so much better after telling my father off, to be honest. I think after I became a lawyer, he just gave me crumbs and tried to pretend like it was enough. But it wasn't. And now I really don't need them, not even the crumbs. I'm done. Anyways, guys, thank you for following my journey, and thank you for letting me vent. So, Amy was in a very difficult situation in today's story. I want to know what you would have done if you found yourself in this position and you're having to deal with Millie, who, by the way, was an absolute nightmare throughout this entire thing. I mean, Amy, Millie, OP's brother-in-law, and her brother-in-law's mutual friend. Well, it just seemed like this was a never-ending hamster wheel of lies and deception after deception. I mean, can you imagine being Amy just to find out later on that OP's sister Millie was the one responsible for everything and she was a liar? Her husband never touched her. In fact, she was the one who laid her hands upon him. What would you have done in this crazy scenario? Drop it down below in the comment section. Guys, thank you for joining me on today's video. If you just can't seem to get enough of these daily videos and you're already subscribed to the channel, just know there's 2 more juicy Mr. Reddito channels ready to go for you to watch until your hearts are content. The first one, Mr. Reddito Animated, and the second one, Mr. Reddito's Revenge. Check out both of those in the search bar using YouTube, or just check down below for the pinned comment or the comment section or the description. You can find those channels lots of different ways. Guys, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, and of course remember, it's cool to be kind. Peace.